Hi friends! This week we'll be continuing our work on the Amaziograph app. Amaziograph focuses on symmetry, whether it's bilateral symmetry or something that's the same on both sides, or radial symmetry. And remember, radial symmetry means the design that radiates from a central point is the same on all sides. Last week we explored the app and all the cool things it can do. We figured out how to use the paintbrush tool, the eraser, and the fill bucket. We learned how to mix colors by dragging the colors and blending them in the paint palette. We figured out how to use a blended brush. We now know how to change our brush sizes to make our lines more thin or more thick. And we also learned about the transparency tool, which can make colors more see-through or more opaque, where you cannot see through them. We also know that if we make a mistake, we can either erase or we can use the undo button to undo our last line or lines that we drew. Today, we'll not only learn some new tools in Amaziograph, but we'll also learn how to create a very detailed mandala. You might be wondering, what in the world is a mandala? Let me explain. A mandala is a design that has radial balance or symmetry. The word mandala means circle in Sanskrit, an Indian language, and mandalas have roots in the Buddhist or Hindu religions as well. Mandalas can be made in different ways. Here's a short clip of one being made out of colored sand by Tibetan monks. Making mandalas is a way to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is all about focusing on the present moment. I find that making mandalas is very calming and helps me center myself. Let's see how calming they are for you. The first thing we'll do today is open the Amaziograph app. Just in case you forgot, it's in the K12 folder. Choose the mandala design. Once you have your blank design, click on this little kaleidoscope looking menu button and you'll see some options. Select Adjust Grid. You can see that as I move the slider bar, I can increase or decrease the number of lines coming out from the center point of the mandala or radial design. I would like for you to select 8. Click the kaleidoscope again to get out of the menu and zoom way in. Remember, to zoom, you put 2 fingers together, touch your iPad, and then separate your fingers. Make a small mark in the center to see how thick your line is. You will need to adjust your paintbrush size to about a 4 to get a nice thin line. There we go. You are going to be zooming in and out a lot for this project. Zoom in to make your marks, and zoom out to see how those marks have affected your design. I like to make a lot of my mandala patterns using a combination of curved lines. They almost look like flower petals. You can add spirals at the tops or create your own look. Use the worksheets at your tables to get ideas for your patterns. Just remember to keep them really simple. You can add outlines, stripes, circles, or other shapes as well. Be creative. As you work your way around your mandala and add the outer rings, think about adding shapes in between the 2 shapes below, almost like a brick pattern. See how this brick is laid so it overlaps the seam of the other 2? It creates strength and makes the brick wall more sturdy. In art, this overlap of lines makes your design stronger as well and creates a sense of balance and unity. Remember, if you make a mistake, just undo it and try again. You want to have nice smooth lines, so no scribbling for this project. You can repeat lines, making the shape bigger as you go, or add little details inside. A lot of times, I find that my designs end up looking very organic, like leaves or flowers from nature. I wonder if that says anything about my mindfulness. I do find nature very calming, and it is one of my happy places. You don't want your mandala to go out too far to the edge of your canvas, so make sure to stop drawing before you reach any of the edges. Now that the outer shape of my mandala is done, I'm going to zoom in and out to search for spaces that could use a little more detail. Lots of little lines and circles will do the trick. Now that I've drawn my mandala, I'm going to use a new tool called the Layer tool. I'm going to click on this tool here that looks like a stack of papers and click the plus button to add a new layer. I want this new layer to be underneath my drawing layer, so I'm going to hold down on it and slide it down so it's at the bottom. We could simply color in our drawing, but we might also cover up some of those beautiful black line designs. So here's the solution. As you can see, if I make a mark, it goes under the black lines, which is what I want. Now I can color my design with no worries about going outside the lines. No, you still cannot scribble. Use your best craftsmanship. Craftsmanship means taking your time so your work looks well done, like you did it carefully. I like to use the blended brush to color. Remember, to use the blended brush, you just slide over one of the colors in the squares to the circle. If the color you want isn't there, you can hold down the colored circle to get your paint palette. From there, you can touch a new color or mix your own. You may have to pull the paint palette menu down more than once to get more than one color. Remember to zoom in very closely to get right up next to those black lines. Use good craftsmanship and take your time. I don't think we'll finish these mandalas today, which is fine. Luckily for us, Amaziograph is amazing and automatically saves your work. So at the end of class, click the 4 square button and you should see your work in the gallery. Since we use the same iPad each week, you can finish your design next art class, and then we will upload to Artsonia to share it with the world. Here are 4 mandalas created by students. If you were going to grade them on a scale of 1 to 4, 1 being the lowest and 4 being the highest, which would you give each grade and why?